I'd like to give you an overview of this class. Ending Fear, the 7R formula for fearless awakening, offers a new paradigm that will empower you to become the deliberate creator of your own self-identity. It will point out the fundamental assumptions that keep you trapped in fear. This class is designed to move from the general concepts discussed in the book and apply them to your specific circumstances. Although it supplements the materials of the book, more importantly, the class provides personal exercises that will allow you to discover your specific issues and then go about solving them or resolving them. Once uncovered, you will be taught how to break those negative creation cycles that keep you trapped in the past. This breaking from the past allows you to finally succeed in creating a new self-identity that you will deliberately decide to create. For perhaps the first time, you can now start to live your life with the true joy, happiness, and inner peace that comes from living in alignment with the principles you have deliberately chosen to guide your life. In part 1 of this class, we deal with what the problem is. We first need to clearly identify the problem and why we need to learn to better control, manage, and ultimately eliminate fear's domination over our lives. We need to address and correct the basic myths that the fear-based thought system assumes to be true. You can never escape fear within a thought system that was designed to create, maintain, and perpetuate fear in the first place. You need to overthrow your indoctrinated beliefs about yourself and your world. There is nothing inherently wrong with you, but you've been raised within a fear-based thought system. You need a new plan. The 7 R's represent the key words for implementing the 7-step program for ending fear. The 7 R's are realize, recognize, relationships, responsibility, reinterpret, revolt, and restructure. In part 2 through 4, we're going to deal with those 7 steps of the formula. These 7 key words will help trigger the appropriate responses needed to stop fear in its tracks. These 7 steps can be grouped into 3 categories, which are covered in part 2 through 4 of the class. In part 2, we deal with the first 2 steps. The realize and recognize steps deal with the why, who, where, and when questions that must be addressed before you can hope to end fear in your life. You need to get the right answer to the question of why you are here, what you are, and why you should value anything. When you do not know what you are, you will place value on what is worthless and ignore what is wealth. The realize and recognize step will define the problem and actually supply the answer, but it will not provide the process needed to get to that solution. The real problem is that you want to be happy, yet you cannot be happy when you live in fear. Therefore, you need to end fear. So, how do these first 2 steps help? The recognize and realize steps not only clearly define the tasks before us, but they also lay the groundwork for the formation of a totally new thought system that is not based on fear. Without a different foundation upon which to build a totally new non-fear-based thought system, you can only hope to manage or mitigate the damages that fear brings. You can never end fear within a thought system that was designed to create and perpetuate fear in the first place. You need a new plan. You need the overthrow of the old and replacing it with a new thought system. In part 3, we deal with your relationships to your world. These are covered in the next 3 steps. Relationships, responsibility, and reinterpret all deal with what I call the creation cycle. Life is the creation cycle. The creation cycle generates all your experiences. Whether you like it or not, you have a critical part to play in that cycle. Unfortunately, we have never been taught the rules of the game. We do not know how our experiences are created, and therefore we fail to utilize the tools that we have at our disposal to modify these negative creation cycles. Whether you believe beliefs create your experiences or experiences cause your belief, the fact is that you have already had plenty of both. You are already involved in numerous creation cycles, so what came first is of no consequence. There is nothing to gain by arguing over which came first. Our beliefs have already been with us for a long time. What you need to understand is that past beliefs and experiences have entrapped you within an ongoing cycle that can only be modified by changing your future experiences or beliefs. Without these changes, your future is doomed to be a replay of your past. Repeating the past is the means of the word cycle. Since you want a different future, you need to know how to manipulate this cycle to bring about change in your life. The relationship step provides the rules of the game. You learn how the operating system of your physical world works. The responsibility step provides and clarifies what you can and can't do. It defines your rights and your limitations. The reinterpret or reframe step deals with the 2 parts of the creation cycle that allow and empower you to modify and break any current cycle. Without these new tools, you would not be able to break free from the negative consequences that those creation cycles automatically bring. You would be stuck in a hopeless state of despair. These first 5 steps provide the information needed to break free from your past, but you still lack the skill needed to end fear. You want to be able to create a new future that you proactively create. In part 4, we deal with the overthrow of the old and the establishment of that new paradigm. The last 2 steps, revolt and restructure, provide the know-how to end fear in your life. Revolt deals with the overthrow of your current fear-based thought system. Yet before you revolt, it is wise to have some hope that there is a better way. Because the first 2 steps of the 7R formula, which were realized and recognized, because we've done those things, now there is room for a possible new paradigm that is free from fear. But that new thought system, what would that be and how would you implement that? That problem is solved in the final step, which is restructure. Since your world is a world of perception and beliefs make up perceptions, you need a new set of beliefs that will prevent past and new fears from arising. The restructure self will provide the rules that govern correct perception. With misperception gone, fear disappears and ultimately sets the stage for fearless awakening. A new day is upon your horizon. So let us begin on that journey. It is your destiny.